Hello everyone, welcome to the very first episode of Sikhs in Sport. Very pleased to have on Dylan Cheema. Dylan, how you doing, brother?
Yeah, I'm good.
Thank you very much for coming on, man.
Yeah, thank you.
Who is Dylan Cheema?
I'm a professional boxer, 27 years old, 9-1, signed to Sky Sports and promoted by Boxer. One of the first Punjabi Sikhs on a big platform. Not the last, there's many of us out there and here to do big things and really represent us on a big stage.
Dylan growing up
Very good.
naughty.
Naughty? Oh, very good, naughty. I'm getting a mix.
No,
I'm getting a mix.
good as well, but naughty as well.
Because the first grandchild. Yeah.
Dylan, we just loved his kickboxing.
Yeah.
He was a cheeky little boy. Yeah. He's always got something to say all the time. He's never quiet. And when he does anything for you, yeah, he'll always go that extra mile for you, always help out whenever possible.
Tell us a little bit more about you and your boxing journey.
It's a bit of a different one, you know. My story into boxing, my story in this crazy world isn't the one that you normally would see. You normally see an amateur boxer, then go professional, and then get a contract and so on and so forth. I came from the kickboxing world. You know, none of my family have had any real fighting experience in general, to be honest. I just fell in love with kickboxing at a young age. Walked into gym when I was 10 years old with my uncle Baggy. As everyone sees in the Bhangra in the ring, that's uncle. He's the one that, you know, taught me when I was at that age. Within 6 months, he got me a fight, broke my nose, and literally fell in love with it.
Bucky, he takes his kids to kickboxing because they were in the same school. So he said, I'm going to take these three. But we didn't take three, we took the girls as well.
Wow.
Everywhere he went, we followed him, us too. Take them kids. Solihull School, we went to Birmingham. Everywhere they went, we followed.
Wherever he trained, we took him.
I remember like seeing stars, getting punched in the face properly for the first time, seeing stars and flutters in your eyes, and then knowing that he knows them. I was like, you know what? I enjoyed that.
Wow.
I enjoyed that, and then that was it. Fought again 2 weeks later. Fought against a kid that was really far more vastly experienced than I was. Lost, but then a lot of people said a lot of good things about me. Said, do you know what? If he actually sticks at it, it can be good. And then just stuck at it and just wanted to keep doing it. And you know, when you're at that sort of age, you don't really have any massive aspirations other than just to go into the gym and just train twice a week. You know, that's what I was doing, just training twice a week, and then it just sort of this hobby that I was doing just spiraled into something that I far would have dreamed of, to the point where I was knocking guys out at the age of 18, 19, guys that were, you know, Midland kickboxing champions, English champions and what have you, knocking them out and just blowing through opponents, racked up like six knockouts within 4 rounds on the bounce. Fought for a world title when I was 21 against the former world champion. My first scheduled 12-round fight. Knocked him out in 4 rounds. Then went to defend it. No, sorry, I went to Unify and fought for another bout. Did lose. That was where I got a massive gash on my nose. Split my nose open. Lost that one. But then came back and won a world title within 3 months. And then all of that sort of led to this world of then, you know, retiring from kickboxing and decided then to go on this journey of boxing because I'd achieved what I wanted to achieve in kickboxing.
When he had a big fight here with Sky, he had an option to fight.
Commentary, the boxer tournament.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And somebody sort of pulled out on the last couple of weeks before the fight.
Yeah.
So the man just said, look, we've got a chance now to get in there. Are you ready? So I'm ready anytime. He is like that. He's more open. So didn't do much training, but at the same time, he's fit enough. They got him ready in 2 weeks. So got him that fight. So we thought, have a go. He's professional. He ain't a really professional fighter yet. So get in there, have a go. You win, you lose, you lose. Then one day, his coach said, well, how about him going professional? I said, I got no issue. I said, I sport him. Don't have to do any work in the shop either. if you want to turn professional, he's got to do it properly. Get that sorted out first. Don't want him coming back 2 months later, say, oh, I hurt myself, I ain't doing it. I said, none of that. If you're going professional, he's going to do it properly like a job. It's a job, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah.
So if you
But
put
he
your
does
mind
help.
to it,
He does help.
but now he's done ever so well.
Yeah.
I think through a lot of people behind him, he sort of built himself a mind. His training so good, coaches are very good. Baggy is excellent. Without Baggy, I don't think he'd be there where he is now.
And I thought, you know what, let's give this boxing world a try. And the decisions I make isn't, I don't make the decisions, it's a team that makes the decisions. So me and my coaches, so you got Uncle Baggy, Simon Akufo, Teti and Richard Waller. We all sit down at the start of the year and we all have a chat, we all have a team meeting. It's crazy because this is how close knit we are. You know, I say what I would like to do, and they say what they recommend to do, and we sort of hash it out from there. I said I wanted to go into boxing, they went, yeah, great, let's do it. When can we start? Growing up, I wasn't one of the most boisterous kids. I wasn't naughty. I wasn't out on the streets or anything like that. I was actually quite a quiet kid. You know, I was bullied quite a lot growing up. So I think I found something do you know what it was? I could express myself in the ring in a way that I probably couldn't outside. And where I was shy outside and not really talking to like loads of kids and stuff and just had a few friends, I was a different person in the gym and I was a different person in the ring, in that I was expressing myself, and that's really what drew me into this whole fighting world and this martial arts, to be honest.
Your dad, when I spoke to him earlier, he talked about you were sort of bullied in school.
Yeah.
And that was quite a challenging time for you at that time.
Yeah.
What sort of things did you experience? Was it racism? Was it?
Yeah. So I wouldn't say it was racism. Racism, obviously, anyone that's of colour, or is going to experience racism. That is part and parcel of what we have to go through. For me, it was just like, because I wasn't the strongest of kids, so kids with older or bigger kids would just pick on me and push me around and bully me in that sort of sense, and take my lunchbox off me, and to the point where I didn't want to take a certain lunchbox into school. I didn't want to take lunch into school. I'd just be, just things like that. But I don't think that didn't really fuel me, because them people now, what are they doing now? That bullies. I always think bullies don't get anywhere in life. That bully mentality, just forget about it. I soon realised when I started to grow up, everyone's on a different journey, and they can do what they want to do. I never let that fuel me, because I didn't want to give them the satisfaction. I didn't want to use that anger. I'm doing everything I do is for me. Them picking on me, yeah, it wasn't nice. It wasn't a good thing to go through, but I soon realised, push that, forget them. They're in the past. That's happened. That's given me a bit of a thicker skin than most, but forget about it. That's happened, and that spite that I get now isn't because of what's happened there. It's because of the hunger that I want to get to achieve what I want to achieve.
We talked a little bit about earlier. We talked about spite.
Yeah.
That spite.
Yeah.
Where does that spite come from? You said that spite is that anger where you want to knock people out, you want to hurt people. Because that's important in this sport, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Where does that come from within you?
Do you know what? My coach has said this from a very young age. So I watched them train for numerous world titles. I've seen loads of champions in our gym train, and I've seen the work that they put in. And they said something to me. They said, if you look across the ring, you're looking across someone now, he wants to hurt you. He wants to put you on the canvas, unconscious. You got to stop him from doing that. You don't want him to do that. And this is where that spite comes from, knowing that someone's across the ring from you that wants to hurt you and inflict damage, put damage onto you. That's where that little bit of that bite, that spite, that aggression, that anger comes in. Also, I've just sacrificed 12 weeks, 10 weeks, 10 years of my life to this whole sport. Look at all them sacrifices that I make. I've not been going out, I've not been enjoying myself. I can't eat in certain foods. I'm coming back tired, I'm up before the family are awake, and I'm back way after they've all finished work and relaxing, and I don't get to spend much time with them. All them sacrifices, all for this, and there's one guy across from the ring, he is not stopping me. There's no way he's gonna stop me from achieving what I want to achieve. I've put too much into this, and I've not dedicated all of this time, all this effort, put my body and pain through all of this to then let this guy walk through me. That's where this fight comes from.
And what is it that you want to achieve?
I want to be the best. I've achieved everything I can in kickboxing, which is multiple world champion. I want to be able to do that in boxing, and that'll be go through the ranks, work my way up, keep dedicated, keep working hard, keep myself focused, and I just want to see where I get to. Everyone's going to sit here, and how many boxers do you know I want to become a world champion? How many kids will say I want to become good, have that fire, have that hunger? You're only going to go as far as your body can take you, as much effort that you're going to put in. I'm putting in the effort to hopefully achieve those dreams.
The dream is always to fight in Vegas, or he always says when I want to get up to 12 rounds, and hopefully he gets international fight stuff because I want to do it with the Rico and stuff.
When I turned professional boxer, which was October 2021, I had my debut. I didn't know a year later I'll have a contract with Sky Sports. I'll be fighting regularly on Sky, and I'll be sat in the position I am today, being able to do this full time. I didn't know I'd be able to do that within 12 months, and it just shows you how quick things can change, in a good and a bad, whichever way you want to take it. It happens so quickly, but I'm privileged, But that's not because I was lucky to get the opportunity, but look at the hard work I put in from day one as well. I believe the hard work as well is sort of starting to shine through a bit.
I guess the world sort of knew about you during the boxer tournament and after the boxer tournament.
Yeah.
It was your big platform. Obviously, you'll tell us how you performed. But how was that whole experience for you?
Do you know what? I would say it was surreal, but it just sort of went, like, not necessarily in one ear, out one ear, but it just sort of came and went so quickly. I remember taking the phone call. I was up at a trade show in Liverpool at the day. It was a Friday. Took the phone call. I thought I was just going to be a show filler, like just a 4-round fight. If someone has an early stoppage, they want to fill some time, they'll throw me in. Next thing you know, I'm in this tournament, and got back to the gym that day. Me and my coaches, we sat down in the gym before that session, and we put a plan together on how we're going to change training, what I'm going to have to do to get used to this format of three rounds, 3 fights in one night. And that was it. Then we just worked hard for 5 weeks. So we had a bit of time to work, and we worked hard for 5 weeks specifically for this. And what we worked on, what we planned on, and how we thought it went. It all went to plan on the night.
Obviously, you fought first.
Yeah.
You stopped the kids in the first round. You got clipped as well, right? If I remember.
I think he came. We both came out swinging.
Yeah.
And he caught me with a punch, and I sort of stumbled back. I didn't get hurt. I stumbled back, sort of like a little bit of balance. And then as soon as he come forward, my legs were under me. I wouldn't have been able to land that punch the way I did, and he just fell into this right hand. And I think he was pretty much game over. I was just going to jump on him until the ref jumped in and stopped it, which he did.
And then who was your second fight against?
So I boxed a lad called Scott Malvin.
Who's now the Midlands champion,
Who's
right?
now the Midlands champion, yeah. So that again, we knew that would be a bit more of a technical, good boxer, good amateur pedigree. Sort of come out the first round, nicked the first round, tried to box a little bit more in the second, didn't really go to plan, and he nicked that. It was all on it on the third round, and I just thought, I've just got to throw and walk through this kid and punch him as much as he punches me and more. And that's literally what we did. And took the win. And I thought convincingly took the win, and then walked into this final against the boogeyman that they all thought was going to walk through everybody.
Who was that boy that Ryan Charlton beat at the weight above?
He fought Marku. Oh no, he fought Joe Laws.
Joe Laws. That's where I thought
yeah.
Joe Laws was a good amateur.
Yeah.
And he's dropped Joe Laws. And that's where I thought that would cause you the most trouble. When I saw he's in there, I thought he'll win it. But the way you handled it.
Everyone thought that. Everyone thought that. He was like 4-1 favourite. I was like 16-1 outsider. Obviously got him in the final, and I just thought the way he fought this consistently the same way the whole night, just walk forward and just throw bombs, which was what we expected, which is why I had to sort of box and move and duck and roll and give it in. So I had to show a little bit of everything in that final. But I knew, you know, I knew I had to beat of him.
How did you feel mentally in a fight then?
I just thought, I've been through 2 fights already. I've had the longer breaks. He's had the shorter breaks. I've had a stoppage. He went 3 rounds and then got a stoppage. I'm the fresher guy. I just thought, F it, I'm just gonna walk through here. I'm gonna try and walk through here and just gonna give it everything. Just leave everything in the ring. Whatever I've got left, I'm just gonna give it my all. And God's plan, isn't it? If it's to be, it's to be. If it's not, it's not. And that's it.
One thing I noticed from you during the build-up, obviously you had the dolly playing, the playing and stuff, but the confidence that you had within yourself. For someone who's only had 2 or 3 fights,
I only had 2
stage,
fights at that stage. Yeah.
You know, you seem extremely confident. Where did that confidence sort of come from?
Do you know what? I think that came from my coaches. They've instilled this sort of mindset of if you do everything you can in the gym, then it's down to you know, we really put the hard work in every single time I walk through the gym doors. Every time we walk through, you know, everything, we leave everything in there, and that's where the confidence comes from, knowing that I've done everything I can do. All I've got to do is do what I've done in the gym 1,000 times or 1,000,000 times. I've just got to do that on one night and perform. That's where the confidence comes from. You know, what more? Once you've done the hard work in the gym, there's no doubts in my mind that I can't do it in the ring, and that's where the confidence is.
Yeah. Obviously, you won the fight. We saw the bungalow afterwards, which is
yeah.
amazing to see.
Yeah.
And then you were in the Shan Sab as well.
Yeah.
That was just amazing to see. So some of you up and up, holding that to you. How did that make you feel as well?
Yeah, it was a special night. There was, you know what, a lot of the stuff that happened on that night wasn't really planned. I remember walking all the ring walks I did. It's mad because you only do 1 ring walk.
Yeah.
I had to do more for that night, so free. There was these two lads from Culture. I do know them now. They had in the Shantab. They were waving it all night long. And after I won the fight, I was like, oh my God, I've got to get it, and I got it, and it just held it with me, and it just like, yeah, it was. I didn't realise how I thought it was. You know, it was me showing the world us as a culture who we are on a stage. I didn't realise what it would really do for the wider community out there, because everyone just was like, wow, like we are. Look at us now. We're on this stage that we never really seen before, and it just went crazy from there.
It was not only special for you, but it's special for us as well.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Just seeing that, so one of mine just going out and achieving that. So that was definitely amazing to see.
The first time I got there, I sat there behind everybody's back and I was crying and I just couldn't watch him. And just when the punches came in, and I was like, oh my God. I just sat there crying.
Really?
But as the fights got on and on, it got easier. So now I actually do go there and I do actually enjoy watching him. It's like when the hunger starts, the door starts, I'm there doing the hunger dancing.
I bet it's a relief when his hand gets raised and the fight's over, right?
It is. It's hard to watch because obviously we all live together, we all work together. So it's like my son out there as well. So watching me is tough, but obviously somebody has to win. And then when he wins, it's great.
First couple of fights, me and my brother would have these mad arguments over little things, and then the customer come in and she goes, "You guys are arguing again, you've had a row again." I go, "Yeah." And she goes, "It's your nerves. Just don't speak to each other for that week." You know. So what we made a rule was fight week or 2 weeks before Dylan's, me and brother, we don't speak to each other, don't look at each other, because you end up saying stuff that you don't mean because your stomach's doing 10 to a dozen.
It's quite stressful.
It's very stressful.
Yeah. I mean, to see, like, to have him, like, go in the ring and the thought of it constantly goes into your head.
And how has your life changed since that sort of day?
Yeah, I mean, at the time when I won that fight, I was still working in Manchester. That soon stopped. About a month or so later, a couple of months later, I gave up work and thought, you know what, people really fight and, you know, dream of these opportunities. I can't let this go to miss. I've got to, you know, this is the chance that I've dreamed of as a kid, of wanting to go professional and go full time and give them everything, and I couldn't, because you still need to fund yourself financially, right? And this was that chance that I got where I could do that full time, and we just gave it everything and gave it work and put everything into boxing now, and yeah,
And you got some sponsors backing you now as well.
Yeah,
right?
so I've got a good haul of sponsors. You know, up and down the country. A lot of them are Punjabis. One thing I've noticed now is, which I never really saw. And speaking to some of the older generation as well, up in here never really sort of supported up in here in that sense. There was, you know, I always get the comment of, oh, you got a free ticket here, free ticket there. The truth is, I don't get free tickets anywhere. My family pay for their own tickets.
You sort of became an overnight success after then, right? If I'm not
Yeah.
if you said it right,
Yeah.
you got signed up by Sky Sports,
Yeah,
Boxer,
yeah.
you're boxing on their shows and stuff.
Big suppliers all come to the fight.
You know,
Everybody
so people
comes.
we know, they all come to the fight. That will giving really good image as well.
We have a coach for.
You know, we
You have a
take,
coach for
Yeah,
we
have
take a coach at every fight,
Coach comes
everywhere.
to the Newland pub first.
Yeah.
Then they come to the house because we all are Indian family, his brothers and everybody, and we all go. And then they pick us up from the house.
What got me to this position? My boxing. What got me those wins? The boxing. What can't forget about the boxing? It's not like, it's probably different in other sports, but I can't forget about the hard work I've got to put in the gym. I've still got to put that hard work in. I've still got to stay dedicated. I've still got to stay focused. You know, otherwise it's just me and the opponent in the ring. There's no other 11 of them, 10 of them in on the pitch. Just me and him. So I've got to make sure the hard work's done. And you know, I don't want to lose a hard way.
You got your family you're talking about after the tournament, and people coming in for photos with you.
Yeah, when one guy like travelled from London just to have a picture and stuff, and
Wow.
obviously the shopkeeping was quite a small close knit community in itself. So you know that blew within themselves quite massively as well. And you know, it was great to have the likes of Sky Sports down and do a live stream from the shop where they got the family involved. They got my dad and my doctor and my baba and my doctor on interviewed on the night as well, live on Sky, which is wonderful to see, because it's not just about me. They sacrifice as much as I do.
It was the only Asian shop in the area. And we used to work like 11 in the evening. It was awful in them days. It was,
We had
you ain't going to stay here more than 6 months.
customers are saying the first day we open the shop is a bank holiday, May Day. And it was my son's birthday, Dylan's dad. Ladies come, will now walk into your car, Blackie shop. They were our customer for life.
I mean, now it's different generation after generation. You just turn a blind eye. You either work with the people, or you pack up and shut shop and go home. So we work with the people. We had a rough time. At the same time, we gained a lot.
It's part of the family. It's like if you want to find any family member, you come here. So if the kids are at home and there's nobody at home, they'll just come here. Like they know we're all here, so it's our little, like our base basically.
My Dylan would come here before a fight. He'd come here after the fight the next day. And then when he won the boxer tournament, then he spent a few hours here and he just lapping it all up.
Yeah, he must have loved the
Yeah.
attention on that, right?
Yeah.
And then someone come in. The first few weeks were quite weird. People come see him, and we phone him. Whoever it was, he'll come. He'll come from home or whatever on the way. I'll say, "Well, I'll be there at 3 o'clock. I'll be there at 5 o'clock." And then people come and see him in there. But
Well, what does this shop mean to you?
It's everything, you know. This is like where my granddad's, my baba started this business 40 years ago.
40 years? Wow.
So you got 3 generations of Cheemas that have worked through this shop, through this business. So it's everything. So every day, someone or majority of the family are here. So if you want to speak to the family, you call the shop or you come to the shop, which is why we're here today.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's, you know, even from a young age, school holidays, we will come to the shop, we'll come with my dad or whatever, try and wake up at 6:30, never wake up. Just come in. And this, like, you know, you just spend time with the family stuff here at the shop, sitting in the trolleys and pretending to climb from the showers, putting away the deliveries or whatever, just doing little things here and there. And then obviously then as you get older, it just spirals into a little bit more, then you get a bit more of a foothold and you start helping out properly and you have a bit more responsibilities, you get a bit older, and then that's it. It just, next thing you know, you're fully fledged staff member and working for the family. But you know, obviously boxing for me comes first and foremost, and everything, training's got to be focused on that. And then the shop life has a bit of a break at the moment. But you know, I still come here every so often, and you know, a lot of the staff here, for example, Sally and Sarah we got here, they've known me literally since the day I was born.
Wow.
So
they've been working here since that long?
They've been working here
Wow.
for like 27 years plus, to be honest. So you know, we've got some loyal staff here as well. So it's just a big family business, isn't it?
Yeah.
What does it mean to represent, obviously, Sikhs around the world and sort of be a role model for Sikhs as well?
Yeah, you know, I think the thing that shocked me quite a bit was how many young kids, the younger generation, I'd say inspired, or you know, that now look up to me, or that now started to go to a boxing gym or karate gym or whatever it is. They've now actually gone into some sort of martial arts. That's the craziest thing to me, because I never thought I'd have that impact on the next generation, but I am, and it is great because I've got kids that are 5 or 6 running up to me and just asking for pictures and wanting to have like a little bit of a shadow box and stuff. That is the best feeling in the world, honestly. As much as like the adults and the parents are coming up and asking for pictures and talking about it, when you've got a little boy, a little girl coming up and asking for a picture and talking about fighting, and I was sat there at a wedding once, and this kid showed me all these videos of me on YouTube that I've never even seen before. He goes, "You said this," I was, "You did this one, did this." I'm like, "Never seen it before," and did this. And that's like, that literally puts a smile on my face, because that's hopefully that's doing something positive and giving back in a different way, which I never thought I would do, but I'm able to do it. Yeah.
Your fight against Jordan Ellis.
Okay.
Obviously that was a tough fight.
Yeah.
You did lose that fight.
Yeah.
I don't think it was shown on Sky Sports as well, wasn't it? It was just below the card.
Yeah.
But how did that make you feel, that whole situation?
Yeah, that was difficult. That was difficult. Firstly, because I don't like losing. I hate it. Every time I've lost, I've shed a tear. Every time, and I don't cry at all. So obviously, there were a lot of things that happened behind the scenes that there is no excuse for loss. There is no excuse for loss, but a lot of things happened behind the scenes. That fight should have been a 6-round fight, got dropped down to a 4 because of timings of the show. Couldn't hold for a 6-rounder for me, unfortunately. Had that been 6, I thought I would have won that fight. I thought I won the fight anyway, just about. Can't sit here and call it a robbery. You know, he won. It was a close fight, but if a robbery would mean I would have won 4 rounds out of 4, I didn't. I probably nicked it, you know, by a round. But having took that loss, yeah, it was difficult. It did take me a while to be myself again. You know, I wouldn't say I wasn't necessarily depressed, but I was down for a while. It did take me a while just to get back to myself, get back to my normal, happy, cheery Larry as everyone sees me, you know, day to day. So yeah, it happened. It happened, and you know. I've taken losses in life before, outside the ring, and I've bounced back stronger. You know, I've taken this loss and I've bounced back twice already to get 2 wins. So a loss is only a short period of time. It's what I do after to make those amends and learn and grow and become better.
The one we fought, the Irish lad, he came back bruised.
Yeah.
Lost on a point. That was his toughest fight. And then he fought some Muslim lad at Birmingham Morris Centre. 2,000 people there.
That instance of not getting my hand raised doesn't happen again. You know, I believe we've made some changes and that won't and shouldn't happen again. Back again soon on the 18th of November and get a good win back under the big lights after having about a year out away from it and working behind the scenes and having some smaller local fights just to get myself back where I need to be, and a good win will put me back into a good place again. People don't realise what my family probably do for me on a day to day. You know, whether that's just like making sure, like the small things like making sure I'm okay, making sure my food's prepped and stuff, so when I come back from training, or give me a little encouragement and just telling me I'm doing well and they're proud of me and stuff like that, and you know. and just supporting me, not dragging me to shop all the time, and just allowing me time to train and recover and sleep and rest and those sorts of things. So my family mean everything to me, because I wouldn't be in the position I am today without the support of them and backing me and being behind me. And you don't realise we're here now, they're in the shop, they would have 100 customers talking to them, and they're talking up the fight, talking up about me to every single customer in the shop. That's the crazy thing, that they just as much mad about this as I am, and I'm not anywhere. I'm only here because of them.
It's crazy that none of them come to your fight apart from your judgy, right?
My judgy, obviously my brothers and sisters and my bibi and baba. My mum and dad do not come to the fights. They went once when I was a kid. I think I was about 13, 14, and they hated it.
Really?
Really, they hated it, and they've never come back since. I fought at the Skydome, Country Skydome, which is only local, boxer tournament, won that. They turned up after, the security wouldn't let them in. They had to show them a picture on their phone of this is on the parents to let them in after. They'll come afterwards, I'll see them after. First person I'll phone after the fight is my mum. The hardest phone call I ever made, I actually didn't speak on the phone because I was crying that much, was when I had to phone to say I was okay after Ellison. That's all Mum was worried about. After that loss was, am I okay? And that was the hardest phone call I've ever made. I had to put the phone down and call her back an hour later. But yeah, that's these things. These are the memories that I'm going to take into every time I step into ring, because I don't want to have that feeling again. So I'm going to take that with me every time, and I make sure that I put a hole through his face. I never have that feeling again.
Where do you see yourself in sort of 5 to 10 years time? Do you still sort of see yourself doing this sport?
To be honest, I
probably
didn't.
Not 10 years.
Definitely not 10 years. To be honest, I didn't see myself boxing past 30. But I think we'll see what happens. We'll go to 30, see where I'm at. See if there's big fights on the line after, we'll go after them big fights. But I ain't boxing past 35. 35 is my retirement age.
Easy, mate. Nothing wrong with 35, mate.
No, there's nothing wrong with 35, but I want to hopefully have made enough money to enjoy myself. And you see it a lot now with a lot of head trauma, a lot of boxers later on in life. It starts to affect them. I don't want to be one of those. I want to have everything intact and leave on my terms. I've come into boxing on how I wanted to, and I want to leave how I want to as well.
How does Sikhi impact your life and how you are?
It's quite important for me, to be honest. I would say I am religious. I do believe in God, and that's a big thing now, because a lot of people have their own opinions and their own views. I go to Godra religiously every single week. Every Sunday you'll see me after training. That's my weekly visit. I do go during the week, but that's my weekly visit, just to get my mind straight, sit there and just focus and just think and just relax. There's nothing better than the peace of being in the Godra. That's the truth. And walking into the ring, honestly, you feel this spirit, going through the Simran, saying Wagyu in your head over and over and over. Every time I walk through them ropes, I just feel like there's a spirit, like there's something else with me that's giving me this extra 10%, this extra force, this extra courage, winning me on, and that's how much it means to me. That's how much it drives me. And then, when we see platforms like the channel PBC and many others supporting me and backing me, and what it means when India, back in Punjab, what they're seeing of me as well, and how they're sharing the story, it really goes to show how big Sikhi is a faith, and how we all support and back each other. It is huge, and it means a lot.
Thank you very much for coming on.
Thank you.
Really appreciate it. Great to hear from you the story again, brother.